Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you here to this extra special debate. We call it a town hall meeting with our aspiring National Assembly members, but then it is more of a debate that we used to know when politics is a concern to our national development. So we brought this idea as Movement for Social Justice members to bring our National Assembly members to come together to debate on their policies, their programs and their agendas that they're having for the constituency, specifically for Basse constituency. They are the candidates that are here today, as they are seated in front of us here today. So we first of all apologize for the delay of starting, because I think in the letters that are sent to all the candidates, it should be starting by 4 p.m. And also we produced a flyer to inform the public that this particular debate or this particular event will be taking place. But on the flyer, we informed that it will be taking place by 5 o'clock p.m. So I think there is something that is an oversight on our side. That is the Movement for Social Justice. We communicated 2 times. That is 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Though some of the candidates were here exactly before 4 p.m. and some came before 5. And out of 5 candidates that we were expecting, I think already 3 of them are here that will be taking part in the debate. And we will be also expecting the rest who are also on their way coming, as they promised. We will see if they will be here. But then, for now, we consider these 3 as the ones that are here and they are present. They have accepted our invitation to be here today. So, like I said, it is the Movement for Social Justice that brought this platform for us, the people of Basse constituency, to have a dialogue with our National Assembly, aspiring National Assembly members. Though we don't have any sitting National Assembly member here, they are all aspiring, and we can see them, they're gentlemen. So we have 2 independent candidates here and 1 political candidate. That is on my right here, just my immediate right, I have 𝐍𝐚𝐿𝐬𝐬𝐞 𝐀𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐿, who is an independent candidate, and also Yusufa Balde, who is sitting in between the 2 other gentlemen, who is also another independent candidate. And we have Mr. Haji Suare, who is the political candidate for now here, and he is under the ticket of UDP, who is also with us here. So, gentlemen, we thank you for honoring our invitation, and we apologize for starting the program late because we communicated, and that is on our side. We apologize for that. So, like, it is a debate, and we know debate, it goes with a lot of things, and of course, rules are involved. As far as we say debate, we have to consider rules, and those rules are here. But before that, I will also want to invite or introduce the moderators that I have with me here. I'm sorry for that. I will also want to introduce the moderators that I have with me, who will be with me, and they are my co-moderators. That is one of our uncles who is here with me. That is Mr. Musa Sane. He will be the co-moderator alongside myself. And we have Mr. Balde. Is it, I don't know the name, I forgot it. Mahmoudou Balde, who will be also a co-moderator with us, and also he will be the timekeeper here. So, like I said, it is a debate, and it goes with rules, so we will not waste more time, because already we wasted a lot of time. So what we will do now, we'll just get into the debate. We will try to read out the rules first, and everyone will familiar his or herself with the rules. Then we will know this is what is guiding us here today. And we should go by these rules to make sure that we have a fruitful debate, to make sure that we go home with information. We should not just come here and listen to these 3 or any other gentleman who should be joining us here today and go. We cannot even tell others who are not here that, well, this is what they said, but they did not do this, or they did not say that, they did not say. We should get information from them. And we should also be able to make sure all of our doubts here today are cleared before we leave this hall. And like we also are doing, like the gentleman standing in front of me, he's also streaming it live on Basse Multimedia on Facebook. We know people are not many here. We expect a number of people that will be overcrowding this hall, but they are not here, and we are expecting more to come. But then I know many people will always, like, you know, if Basse Multimedia is live, people follow it. And I know already people started following. And we are sure we will make a lot of audience on social media too. And we will follow their comments too to know what they are also saying based on what this gentleman will be sharing with us here. So with that being said, what I will do now, I will just try to read out the rules to the candidates and also us, the audience here. It is for all of us because we also have to abide by the rules and make sure that we have a fruitful debate, like I said. So, Uncle Musa, you're welcome to the platform. You will be the co-moderator with me here and Mr. Balde. Thank you for coming. Good. For gentlemen, we just try to remind you with the rules that we have with us here, and the rules are here to guide this particular debate, this particular event. And all of us have to abide by it. Understand? So I think we might be somehow harsh sometimes, but it is what the job asks because we think we are here to moderate and we have to be very fair and balanced to all of you. So that is why we will be sharing these rules with you. So you will not say, I don't know this rule was existing here. So you will all familiar yourself with it. So rule number 1 is that 2 minutes shall be accorded to each candidate to make an introductory or opening remark. Each of you will be given 2 minutes to make an opening remark. Understand? I think that is clear. I think that is clear, audience. So rule number 2 is that 3 minutes shall be accorded to each candidate in answering any question or giving any deliberation. Each of you will be given 3 minutes to answer any question that you are asked. And also, rule number 3 is that no abusive or personal attacks. If there is any sign of personal attack or abusive language, I think the moderator will be able to control it and we will be able to address it. So let us also take note of that. Rule number 4, there will be follow-up questions from moderators. The moderators will be able to ask you follow-up questions based on what they ask you and based on what you have been delivering. Understand? And rule number 5, audience that are present here will be given 10 minutes to ask the candidates questions regarding their policies. Based on the policies that you share with them here, the programs and agendas, they will be able to ask you questions that they think is a doubt that they need to clear. Understand? And that will last for only 10 minutes. And rule number 7, 2 minutes shall be accorded to all the candidates to make rule number 6, candidates should have the platform to ask each other questions based on your policies that you share. Understand? You will have that chance to ask each other questions as to what you don't understand about your colleagues' manifestos or policies or programs. Then we come to rule number 7, 2 minutes shall be given to each of you to make a closing remark. Understand? And also candidates shall comment each other after the debate by either handshake, elbow bump, or even hugging. I think that is the most interesting part of it. No matter what happens here, at the ending part of it, we want to see that. It's either you handshake, elbow bump, or you hug each other. I think that is taken note of. So that is it for the rules. I think all of us, we already have the rules noted and the candidates as well. So what we'll do now, we just start. As I said, we don't need to waste more time. We have sections here, and Mr. Musa Sane is here with me, and Mr. Mahmoud Balde, and also I myself will be taking them through the 4 sections, understand, and which we are coming to start right now. Chief, I think you are on standby, and already we are coming to start this. So what we'll do, we'll start with the one on the right-hand side, because we don't have a sitting MP here. If we have a sitting MP, we will have start with him. So, but all of you are aspiring MPs. So we'll start with the one on my right-hand side, that is Daura Nene Gale Jallow. So, Daura, we'll give you 2 minutes for you to give. Okay? Any recommendation? Okay. Thank you. I think that is important. Let's put our phones on silent so we will not distract the program here. Already I did. I'm very sorry for that.
And what language are you going to elaborate?
Thank you. That is important. We want to use the first 20 minutes on English, if that is okay with them. Then the last maybe 1 hour 30, sorry, I think he's taking us 1 hour 30 minutes. So the last, out of that 20 minutes, the last minutes remaining, I'm not good in mathematics, I'm very sorry for that. So, but then they can use that in local language that best fit them. Yes. So we will start with Dauda. For the first question, that is, you will be able to introduce yourself within 2 minutes to tell us who Dauda Nene Jallow is. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. I wish to seize this opportunity to thank each and everyone here for coming to this auspicious occasion. This is the first time of its kind in the history of our constituency for having a political debate for political aspirants to be able to discuss, to be able to dialogue, and then have a means of putting the agenda forward. Basse constituency is our Basse constituency. No matter what happens today here, I believe when we finish, we are only advocating for our development agenda. So I also wish to seize this singular honor and privilege to thank the organizers of this event, because they are actually doing this to promote the proper representation agenda that people are talking about, and also trying to strengthen the good governance in our constituency. I am Dauda Nene Jallow, an independent candidate for the Basse constituency, and I'm vying as an independent candidate. I have actually been following the political situation here in Basse constituency, and interestingly, we are actually seeing a lot of progress in our political atmosphere. And alhamdulillah, although there are challenges, but we wish that at the end of the day, what the people of Basse will do is to get a proper representative who will sit and then work for them at the parliament.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dauda. Work for them in the parliament, and that is it. When we said 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes, like City on TV, and I think I have City Junior here today. Anyway,
thank you.
So 2 minutes is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No matter how you want to express yourself, if the 2 minutes is exhausted, that is it. So Mr. Yusuf Balde, we give you the podium, like Dauda did. You also introduce yourself and make your opening remarks, just within 2 minutes.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. First of all, my name is Yusufa P. Balde. I'm from Basse Mansajankunda. I am an independent candidate vying for this parliamentary election coming April 9th, April 2022. I will also use this opportunity to thank the organizers, because we have been witnessing so many parliamentary elections, but then an events like this never happened in this in Basse constituency. So I will definitely would like to thank everyone for organizing this kind of event, because it is our social responsibilities to know the people that we are putting in power, because Basse, it is our Basse. So it is very, very important that whoever is going to represent us should be known, and our agenda should be known to you guys. So I will definitely, I'm very happy to be in this platform. And then I also want to inform the gathering that I'm organizing a rally in Mansajankunda today. So I might not be exhausting the time. So maybe I'll be here for like 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes or before that. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think you were able to make this opening remark within 2 minutes. So that is it. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Yusuf Balde. Now we move forward to Mr. Happy Suare of UDP in the Basse constituency. Mr. Happy Suare, like the two gentlemen did, you also can give your opening remark and also the introductory to the audience who are listening and also who are viewing this.
Thank you very much. I thank first the organizers of this most important gathering. I'm saying thank you to the gentlemen and then the beautiful ladies around here. Thank you, the people of Basse constituency, gentlemen in this constituency. Once again, thank you for attending this most important gathering. My name is 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐧𝐚𝐥, born and bred in Sare Pirasu. Attended my primary in First Bedouin Primary School, proceeded to my upper, which I did in Sabi Upper Basic School. From there, attended my senior secondary school in Muslim, that is in Banjul. Did my tertiary with Jollof Tutors in a course called ICM, Institute of Commercial Management, in which I obtained a diploma in business management, bookkeeping, and other subjects related to financial or commercial management. I also did the same or similar course in ECOBAT, also related to business. I'm an entrepreneur by profession. I did computer repair, that is PC repair and maintenance. I also obtained A+ in networking. I'm a politician today as I sat here talking to you, which I started in my early age. From there, I joined a party called the United Democratic Party, known to many as UDP. Coalition 2016, I became a young popular man in politics. Time is finished.
Thank you so
oh
much.
My God. Thank you very much. But I would recommend that, I would recommend we stand for the debate, not sitting down.
No problem.
That's my recommendation.
No problem. Thank you. I think you will tell a bit before we move on.
All right.
Yeah. No worries. Thank you so much, Mr. 𝐍𝐚𝐿, and you are able to make a very good introductory remark, telling us your background, your educational background, and other stuff. I think that is important. That I'm just seeing someone commenting on social media, asking that the candidates should give their background of education and also a lot of things when they are making their introductory remarks. And that you did. And also I think Dauda was trying to get into that a little bit, so but due to time he could not get more to bring us about his educational background. So having said that, we will move on and we'll get into the next item on our list. That is, we are still going to start with Dauda. Like I said, you are on my right, and of course we don't have a sitting MP here, and we are going to start everything with you. So Dauda, we will ask, like, you know, you said you're an aspiring National Assembly member, and we already confirmed that you are aspiring. And by April 9, people will be going back to the poll to elect who is going to represent Basse constituency, which you are among. Now, it's important we know, what are your manifestos? What do you have for the people of Basse constituency? So this question now is, what is the manifesto of Dauda Nene Gale Jallow, who is aspiring to become the National Assembly member of Basse constituency?
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so very much. Okay, having schooled in Basse, did my primary school, junior school and senior school in Basse, and then moving to do other courses in Kombo, and then having to come back and work in Basse constituency has given me the opportunity to know the real problems on the ground. We know most of the problems that affect us here are problems that we can solve as a constituency if we are united. Because the unity is one of the most important things that is really important in the development of any nation. So knowing the issues around Basse constituency will help an individual to know that there are so many problems in the Basse constituency. In those problems, we have a lot of them that are really, really important in Basse constituency. And looking at some of them, for example, infrastructure. We have actually seen that the government of President Adama Barrow has actually done a lot in URR and also Basse constituency. But a lot has to be done again, because looking at the Mampatel and Sabi, there's a bridge. Almost 3 people lost their life in Mampatel, in that bridge. So that is a concern. That is a concern that we've seen, and that is a concern that we want to stand for. We also have seen that the road along Giroba, Sabusire, toward Tafsir, Sarebona, going towards the Banekos is a concern, because that is a road that is used by people on a daily basis. And here is the center. This is where they do the business, most of the business that they do, because these people are farmers and they come here to do the selling. So they need good road infrastructure to be able to do that. Looking at electricity, also on electricity, communities western Basse, from Dabakunda, Kanyube, Sare Magal, the Nafugan, Sare Mahmoud, and Berefete are all not getting access to electricity. And we all know electricity is something that is needed by people across the entire globe, and now it has become a necessity to everyone's life. We've also seen agriculture. We have great potentials across the constituency. We've got the River Gambia. We've got very fertile land. We can do a very, very good irrigation system in Basse. We have this River Gambia. We are underutilizing the things that we can get from the River Gambia. Taking, for example, fishing. Now we have a bridge here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Balde and Dauda, for answering that question, like you are asked about the manifesto that you're having for the people of Basse constituency. And of course, like I told you people, we will have follow-up questions. And this is the format in which we are doing it. We will not be going to the next candidate if follow-up questions are available for the candidate who is presently answering the question. So meaning, if there is follow-up questions, he will have to answer those follow-up questions before we move to Yusufa Balde or Haji Suwai. So what I will do, I think Uncle Musa is having some notes for Dauda that he is going to ask, and if I'm also having some, I can still ask. Then we move on.
Yes, are you ready to receive my bullet?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Right. Nice to hear you speak, Dauda.
Thank you.
But you rather beat about the bush so much than coming straight to the point. Because time, you have to manage your time. It's very, very vital. Yeah. So with all the others in you and this, first, when you are asked, you mentioned things like unity. Unity. You are a National Assembly member. Your primary role, you should know very well. You talk of unity, how are you going to do it? How are you going to achieve that unity? Is that unity to you is based on your observation, or is it also a shared view with the people whom you want their votes for you? So is it your own thinking, or it is something that is on the ground? That's one question that you have to respond to. The second thing you mentioned about road infrastructure. Road infrastructure, as an assembly member, how are you going to address that issue as a National Assembly member? Thank you very much.
Just before you start, just to remind you, still you have 3 minutes to answer that question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Musa. I think at the moment, we have gone round to every community in Basse constituency. And the reason why we went round is for us to have a dialogue with the people. Because our first agenda is proper representation. You cannot represent someone if you don't know what they're feeling. You cannot represent someone if you don't know what they want. This is why we went round. We had dialogue with the people. We discussed with them. They told us the problems. We are staying here. We know the problems. But then you have to go to the people and then ask, so you can get first-hand information of what people tell you. So in unifying the people, as an independent candidate, I will use that as an advantage to bring people together, people of different political views. That is an advantage that we have here. If you are an independent candidate, you will be able to bring people of different political backgrounds together and then try to have that dialogue to be able to unite Basse constituency. Your second question is about the road infrastructure. I know as a National Assembly member, you are there to represent your people. So in representing your people, you have the right to call on any line ministry to come forward and then ask them about things for your constituents. If I am elected as a National Assembly member, I will call the line ministry in connection with this road infrastructure and then call them and ask the reasons why our people are paying their taxes on a yearly basis and then they are not getting what they are supposed to get. We have that right. As an MP, you need to make sure that you stand for your people, no matter what comes, no matter who is there, no matter what they believe. That is how we are going to do. We are going to involve every stakeholder involved. All line ministries, we will involve them, and then we will make sure what our people are supposed to have, they get what they're supposed to get.
Let me just make a follow-up to that. Line ministries are there, but as a region, we also have a local government authority. So who do you think is the right or the relevant party to address this issue?
Okay, looking at, like I said, looking at our agenda, we have three: proper representation, we have inclusive participation. So in that, we will have every stakeholder involved. Every stakeholder in the development of our constituency will be called upon, no matter who. We will call the elderly, we will call the young people, we will call the ministries, we will call the central government, we will call the local government, we will call every stakeholder, even those that are differently able, because they are actually marginalized. We will involve everyone in this. So, in answering your question, the line ministries can be consulted, and also the local council, because it's at the local council that we are paying our taxes. And with these taxes, it's stated that 60% of those taxes has to go back to the people. So if that happens, we need to make sure that we push for these things, feeder roads, to be constructed by either the line ministries or the local council. So we have to engage everybody. We are not leaving anyone behind. We are going to have an inclusive participatory system in Basse constituency.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dauda, and thank you, Obu Musa, for bringing up those follow-up questions. Now we move to Mr. Yusuf Abal.
Yeah.
The same question. You are aspiring to become the National Assembly member for Basse constituency.
Yeah.
And we know you must have known about the issues that are affecting the people of Basse constituency. And you have produced your manifesto out of that. Tell us, what is the manifesto of Mr. Yusuf Abale?
Thank you very much for that wonderful question. First of all, before going to my manifesto, I have a mission. My mission is to serve as an agent for change, straighten the democratic process, norms and value to secure a better life for every Gambian, for every Basseterian. We have been going around. We have seen so many things that is happening, especially the off-road areas. I call them off-road areas because they are not they are not at the road. They are just inside. These are people who are marginalized. I have seen places whereby you see the electrical poles, the wires have been passing through villages. And then I asked them why. Most of them said that it's because of political issues. I feel Basse, we are now in an area, or we are in a democratic process whereby even if you don't vote for somebody, it is the government corporate social responsibilities to make sure that, well, there are social amenities like electricity, good roads, and then even water. Places like 𝐍𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐿, you see, like Gambisara, places like Gambisara, they have electricity. But you come to 𝐍𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐿, there is no electricity. Even water, there is a problem with water. The living condition for people living in Basse, it's definitely very expensive. I know it's nationally, it is the whole country, but I have to speak for my people. We have to, for me, being an MP, I am going to make sure that I am going to lobby. I am not going to depend on government. I have to lobby for my people to create a better life. Because if you look at only the government, all they know is to use the youth and the women when it's time for politics. They send you gele-geles, they send you T-shirts. At the end of the day, that's the end of the story. And I have one reason why I want to be a parliamentarian, because I'm not going to be a rubber stamp, whereby I'm just going to stand there and say yes. When the president needs something, I said yes, because he is from Basse. But I have to fight for Basiranians. Places like Sare Pirasu, around Sabi Ward, go and look at the road condition. You cannot imagine if the president even visited that area. I am not saying that, well, I have the capability, I have the power to create roads. It's, wow.
So this time is up. Like we said, 3 minutes is 3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes or 2 minutes?
Who's more for progress? It's 3 minutes. He's in charge of the time. So 3 minutes is 3 minutes, and we want to be very strict with that. So okay. That is it. And again, we gave Uncle Musa a chance to ask a follow-up question based on what you have said. And from there, we will move on to Mr. Haji Suare, and we can move on to the next item on the list.
Yeah, Mr. Yusufa Balde, thank you very much.
Sorry, Mr. Musa, I think someone. Yeah, that is okay. We can applaud them when they have said something very important. When we think yes, it's okay to applaud. Yes, yeah. So it will not be boring, of course. That is okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much. I've heard your brief summary of your manifesto. You talk of the road, communities or people, them being marginalized, and you would want to at least bring them on board into the mainstream of development. Am I right? Yes. Okay, how are you going to do that? And secondly, too, the other thing also you talk of also was that the water problem that is encountered by some communities too. You mentioned something of that sort. And then you said you are going to come up with lobbying strategies. Can you just tell the people, because for somebody like a layman, you talk to me lobbying, I don't understand. How are you going to do that? It has to be practical, so that the people see, well, what he said, he is doable, definitely. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Musa, for that follow-up question. First of all, talking about the less marginalized people, in 2019 to 2020, we all knew about the pandemic. That was the COVID-19. We knew that, living condition was at least a problem. Because looking at the Gambia or looking at those people who are at the off-road, 55% of those families, they survive by the people in the diaspora. Okay, when the COVID came, what I did was, I wrote a small project, a mini project, whereby I was able to have people who phoned me from the US. I was taking rice, sugar, and even bread to this community. And then believe me, you will not believe, like, you wanting to give somebody bread, or they are seeing you sharing bread the way these people they are running to come and approach you. So coming to your main question, the second question, if the reason why I said lobbying, it is to knock those donors, that is international communities, whereby you go and talk to them, you write tangible projects, they will fund it. But in most cases, what people do is that, especially Gambians, we are very good in writing projects, but implementation of the project is a problem. So for me, if I am chosen to represent Basse, I am going to be a lawyer. I am going to be someone who is going all over to find funds to make sure that, well, these marginalized people, they are going to be well equipped, they have a better life, and then, if possible, because there are even some projects whereby you can even write and then tap solar system. Why is the government not doing that? Even if they do it and then they have it, they use it politically. We have seen in a situation whereby those solar systems or like equipments that they wrote for projects are brought for the people, the less marginalized people, but then now they are using it on the political gains. Vote for me, I give you solar system. So that have to stop. This is my mission, and this is what I am going to do in the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Balden, for answering the question, that following question by Mr. Musa Hassan. Now we move to Mr. 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨. The same question, like we asked. We want to know what is the manifesto of Mr. 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨, who is aspiring to represent the people of Basse constituency at the National Assembly.
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨, an aspiring candidate running under the ticket of UDP. My manifesto for Basse constituency and the Gambia is related to the parliamentary duties and the functions of a parliamentarian. That is one, oversight, lawmaking, and representation. That is why I'm vying for this seat. And in that, I wanted to size Basse constituency under these three functions, because as we all know, parliamentary developments directly supports the development aspirations of the people. And in that, as a representative of the people, we are not there to implement, but to demand, direct, and correct government on people's needs and aspirations in terms of developments and laws that are affecting the society in general. Therefore, I see it necessary, as my colleagues rightly mentioned, I went the length and breadth of Basse constituency, and I can see similar problems are affecting the community. But in solving the problem, the little knowledge I get, it is that we must have laws that are going to protect these developments for them to be achievable. One of them is that we know that we have like two types of government, central government and local government. Central government have their functions, likewise the local government. And in developments, researchers and well-knowledge people agree that we cannot have meaningful and tangible development without having a decentralized society. Because grassroots developments are the development that can solve our problems at the grassroots level. As a parliamentarian, if elected, I will direct or sponsor bills that are going to be laws empowering our local governments to ensure they deliver the needs and aspirations of the people. Because if we leave all the developments on the head of the central government, means that we are moving nowhere. As we see Basse as an administrative area, all these roads, feeder roads they call, supposed to be constructed or rehabilitated by Basse Area Council. But where are they going to collect the funds? If the funds, the revenue in Basse is collected, directly paid to the central government's account, how do you expect Basse to solve their problems when they don't have money? And how do you expect us to have those developments when the central government is using their powers to build? You can bring me.
Yes. Time is up. So, like, the time is very conscious about the time.
No problem.
It is up. So, we'll give Mr. Musa Hassan once again to give his follow-up question.
Thank you, Haji Suare. You have at least harped on the primary duties and responsibilities of a National Assembly member, that is lawmaking, definitely. And you are saying that it is through lawmaking that you can also effect the desired change. So you've talked of also things like empowering the local governments. I would like to know how you're going to do that and what laws are you going to put in place that will be able to enable the local governments to deliver as expected to the taxpayers. So also the other follow-up question that I also want to ask is the oversight responsibilities, which is also another function of a National Assembly member. What is the present status quo of the oversight responsibilities of the National Assembly members, of which, if you are elected, there is going to be a drastic change? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sanen. Though your times are very unfavorable, I will manage. My intention and the obligation that I committed myself to do, it is that to give an absolute autonomy to the local government to be able to select and direct their own management, to be able to hire their own staffs and be able to fire their own staffs. The revenues collected to URR here, there must be laws that we will be sponsoring if elected in the National Assembly, that those revenues would be, or half of it will stay in with the local governments so that they will be able to achieve the developments of the people. Because without money, you cannot. But without them also having their independence, without barring the central government, that direct interference, we will not have an area council or a municipal council that Gambians wish to have. So laws will be there to support the autonomy of the local governments. And also laws will be there to guarantee that funds collected in URR or other regions will be invested in the development aspirations of the people of URR. Number two, you talked about, can you remind me again? My oversight. I can see the current parliaments or the past parliaments, they are recommending. My role as a parliamentarian, I'm not going to narrow my oversight to only recommending the executive, that is the president and his ministers. But the demand to direct them to do something that is going to be the betterment of our people. To refrain them from doing that is going to be harming our people. To contain the current status quo if it is favoring us as a nation. So that is the oversight I'm going to do. I'm not going there to only recommend, to only be there aiding and abetting a corruption without taking an action. Section 77 of the Gambia's constitutions give the parliamentarians the absolute power to call on any minister, including the vice president, to come and answer to the parliament. And in fact, give us the stick to punish them, including dismissing them. So without them fearing the National Assembly, means that Gambian people will keep suffering. So I'll use the laws of the land for the executive to know that we are powerful than them, as enshrined in the Constitution. So this is my role.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fode, Mr. Haji Suare, for answering that question from Mr. Musa Sani.
Fode. Sorry, I have to.
Well, I think
I was told it's 4. I'm having a rally in Mansaja. I have called almost all these villages, 38 villages there at my home. So I cannot just absent.
I think
and then the IEC gave me from half past 5 to half past 7. And NPP, they are coming by 8 o'clock. So I don't want that interference.
Well, this is a debate and we think it's important to in your campaign. But then we don't have to say you go, but it's now to you now, whether you can leave or not.
I came by,
but that is the reality. So, but then we appreciate for you coming. Yes, that is factual. We appreciate that. Yeah, but now everything here is important to you. Whatever we are also trying to.
Yeah, my apologies.
You have questions for you?
1 minute.
Okay. Okay.
Concerning about your manifest, I think one thing I want to ask you, like if you
Will you endorse the NPP at the level? Will you join them?
It's a question that I don't decide yet. I don't know the answer.
You are an independent candidate.
Yes, I'm an independent candidate. If I
Endorse NPP at the level?
it's something that I don't even decide for now. Yeah, it's pending. I don't decide. Yeah.
Anyways, I think I just have to put that question because there are people following on social media too. They want to know what is the question about. I think Mr. Balde asked a question that is, if Mr. Yusufa Balde is elected, whether he will endorse NPP in the future. But his answer is, he cannot decide that now. So I think those following also will be able to know what the question is, and the answer is this.
Put me in, then the future will tell.
Anyways, so we, like I told you, we cannot say go, but we appreciate for your comment.
I'm sorry, I wish I would be here
Okay.
to the end of the debate, but I'm afraid. Okay?
All right.
Thank you, brother.
No problem. Thank you. So we will appreciate for you to give a hug for these people. Then we, all right. Good. Sorry guys, I have Anyways, we will continue with the remaining gentlemen here with us. They are still here, and I know they are going to make it so live, even if we are going to of them. It's important we have two, and two can give us what we need. And now we will start on the next item on the list. I think we are going to start with Mr. 𝐍𝐚𝐿. So, having said all your manifestos, the issues you have, and answering the follow-up question from Mr. Musa San, the next question is, with all the issues that you have raised in your manifesto, what will be your first priority as a National Assembly member if elected? What will be your first priority?
It is to have, before I proceed, thank you very much for the question. It is to have democratic-friendly laws, just as I mentioned. Because Gambia we are now, people don't even know that we are sitting on an egg. We're still going with draconian or dictatorial laws. So for Gambian people to be at the safe side, my first duties in Parliament is going to be that to repeal or completely change all the old draconian laws that have been in our laws up to date. That is my first priority to do when I'm elected. Number two, people to...
We only want to hear your first priority.
That is my first priority.
Good.
That is my first priority. I'm going to approach it by putting in private member bills, because I'm not going to wait for the government. We are there for 5 years. We did not see any change or less a loss of money. So I'm going to take up a duty. I even started now to do my research, revisit all the acts, the old acts, and the laws that are not favorable to the democracy of the Gambia, to be able to put a bill that is going to be in the will and aspirations of the people. That will be directly supporting all the democratic movement of the people. That is going to free us as human beings. That is not going to tie us to any kind of condition if we are to do it. That is to have those democratic laws, just like the advanced world is enjoying today. So Gambian people also deserve to have the same laws. So I'm going to sponsor private member bills and advocate for them. Make sure my colleagues in parliament believe that it is not a witch hunt. We are not there to witch hunt anybody, but we want to free and liberate Gambia from the mindsets of dictatorship and to be in a society that each and every Gambian can open your heart, can open your mind, can have that peace of mind to work in anything that you want to do without offending others. So that is my priority, number one.
Are you in support of the draft constitution which is still pending, is not yet in place?
That is 1.1 billion times. 1 billion times I'm in support of it.
Some are talking that the draft constitution has LGBT in it. Is it true?
Because they don't read.
If it is true, do you support that clause?
I can read you that section that talks about marriage. If that is LGBT, then I can say all our marriage today are LGBT. It says that a man and a woman can get married and in fact produce kids. If any one of you can go to the section and read it. If you find differently, then come. I'll give you $1,000.
The issue of secular, it has also been a debate in that new constitution.
We are
particularly between Christians and Muslims.
Yes.
What's your stand on that?
My stand on it is that each and every Gambian have a right. I'm not against the Muslims and I'm not against the Christians. But we live in a society whereby Christians and Muslims are living together. So my stand is I have to respect people's rights. It is their right to believe in any religion that they want.
Thank you so much. The time is up, and we will have Uncle Musa to keep his follow-up questions. If he exhausts asking the two candidates, then he can come up with his follow-up questions. But I think now he will be able to do that because already we are consuming a lot of time and we want to do it that way. So thank you for answering those questions for Uncle Musa and as well as the one that I raised. So we move the mic to Mr. 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐞. The same question. Among all the issues that you have raised in your manifesto, what will be your first priority as a National Assembly member if elected?
Okay, thank you very much. I think as an MP, as an independent MP, when I get to the parliament, I will support any bill that comes for the betterment of Basse constituency. I will support any bill that comes that will develop the people of the Gambia. But my first priority is to unite Basse constituency. That is my first priority because we have a problem here. And if this problem is not solved, there can never be meaningful development. Because in Basse constituency, we always know that there is divide and rule. That is the biggest problem here. Because when people come here, they tend to divide us in order to rule. How do they divide us? They come here, they get camps, they get views. And in those views, they try to empower themselves along those groups. And then anything that they do that do not conform with the norms and values of the people, and people start challenging, you will see the other camp will come. So that means +1, -1. Where are we getting to? It's 0. So this is the problem. No matter how we want to develop Basse constituency, if people are not united, there is no way that development can come. So the first priority as an independent MP, I will make sure that I work to unite every stakeholder. It does not matter who. It does not matter your political affiliation. It does not matter your religion. It does not matter your tribe. What we want is a united Basse constituency that will move the agenda of Basse constituency. Because what we want is a collective effort towards moving Basse constituency. So this is why my first priority when I am elected as the National Assembly member for Basse constituency, I'll work towards engaging every stakeholder in Basse constituency and then try to come up with ways to unify the people and then move the constituency forward. Because no matter what we do, no matter the laws that we get at the National Assembly, if those laws do not reflect in our constituency, there is no way that we are going to develop. No matter how good the laws are, if our people are not united, we cannot accomplish anything. So this is why my priority right now is to make sure Basse constituency is united and then we move our agenda together. Because without that, there will be no meaningful development. So this is the first priority that I will do.
Thank you. On your first priority, Mr. 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐞, it's a very, very laudable priority, unity of Basse constituency with all its diversity. So it's a Herculean task, and I don't know, do you have a time frame of achieving that unity that you want for Basse constituency? How long will it take you to achieve that before eventually development coming to take its roots in Basse constituency? Secondly, you've talked of even though laws, but laws too, we do have good laws in our country, but the challenge there is enforcing the laws, because we are so small that we are just like one family country. When it comes to enforcing the laws, we tend to look at other things than the law itself. And we're calling for justice for all. So I don't know how that can be overcome, Dauda.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Musa. I think we need to understand that when a problem happens, it is not easy for us to mend the problem. It is a process, and the process is gradual. We cannot give a time frame, but we will start. How do you want to move this? We want to involve every stakeholder. We want to have an annual event that will bring every stakeholder in Basse constituency. We can call on the chiefs, we can call on the department heads, we can call on the youths, we can call on the differently able, we can call on every stakeholder of Basse constituency. And then we sit down, and then we discuss our problems. Like Mr. Musa just said, we have good laws, but why are they not being implemented? We have those problems. But let's just see it this way. If the people are united, if they sit together and then try to map out the problems and then find solutions among themselves, I think that would be better and it will be sustainable. Because like the laws, like development, it is just pushed onto the people. The people don't have a say in most of these things. Because mostly when we elect our parliamentarians here, they go to Combo, they sit in Combo, and they don't come here to consult the people. You cannot represent somebody if you don't consult the individual. You cannot represent somebody if you don't know what they are feeling. So this is why we want to make sure that anybody that is coming to Basse constituency as an MP, you make sure you unite the people first. Because no matter how the laws, no matter how good the laws are, if people are not united, we cannot never develop. So this is why we will have an annual event. We can say Basse Constituency Development Forum, and then we will bring people together. Every stakeholder in Basse constituency will be invited, and then we will discuss. Because without dialogue, there is no way that we will be able to do this. I know there's a problem, and it is difficult when we have problems, because not the way they come, that they go. So it's going to be gradual, and we are going to involve the people. Engaging the people will make people understand the problem, and then we will try to solve the issues.
Thank you. That is all for Mr. Musa's follow-up question from Dara. So we will take the mic back to Mr. Haji. Yusufa is not here, Dara is here, and you have heard from Dara telling us about his manifesto. And you also have said your manifesto. So, going through Dara's manifesto, are you agreeing that Dara's manifesto can really help improve the lives and livelihoods of the people of Basse constituency, as far as you are here and you will be contesting against them? How have you seen Dara's manifesto?
Yes, it's good. But how is the question I have for Dara? Because I believe unity is very important. But what is the fundamental pillar to have unity? The solutions, I don't know whether Dara have it or not. My view on it is going back to the laws. Because why I'm opposing how he wanted to do it, it is that he's a parliamentarian who wanted to represent people, and he has already seen a division. Did he detect that problem? If yes, where is the problem? talking about the laws, if you see me emphasizing on it, means that our local authorities, we know the responsibility of the alcalos. We know the responsibilities of the CFOs. We know the responsibility of others that shouldn't be involved into politics. Because due to lack of job security for their positions, they decided to do something that is jeopardizing the unity he's talking about. Without proper laws, all what he's saying is going to be impossible. I only believe that as a National Assembly member, our role is to do our oversight on some of these things, government policies, on their budgetary issues, the development they are doing, ministries. From there, we legislate. We already knew our problem. In Basia, all the alcalos are involved in politics. If you don't support the political will of the alcalo, he will make sure that you are hated in that village. Because the alcalo is securing his job. If you against him there, you are in trouble. There will be hatred. And that hatred is going to divide us. We cannot have the unity he's talking about. So I believe as lawmakers, we should be able to promote laws that should secure that alcalo from the threats of the president and the executive to be able to do his job independently without fear or favor. So I don't believe that we can have unity without laws. And my responsibility as a parliamentarian, unity is a process. Peace is a process. You don't relax. You always work for that. But what is the foundation? What should be the pillar? It is the laws. Without those laws, we can say it here. I'm saying Dauda, it's a humanity process he's talking, and it's very important. But to make it a guarantee, laws must be governing it. Without those laws, the efforts are going to be fruitless. So I'm just trying to help my brother. That as parliamentarians, we should focus on knowing our laws, trying to bring laws that's going to give us that security and do our job on the interest of the people. And we cannot have that without us in the parliament looking it in that legislative direction. It is the only way for that unity to be enjoyed in the Gambia.
Your time is up. And we will bring it back to the we will, before
Mr. Haji. Haji, you are all the time emphasizing the rule of law. And
let's questions coming from the floor. Let's take those questions, then we can see whether we'll adopt them and move on.
Yeah.
I think
I need to give something before.
Yeah, before
let me just give my reaction before.
Yeah, that's what I want to come in. So, Mohamed, you have the solution.
I was just saying that let them want to give you your question with straight direct, not giving questions. You understand? Just ask a question, the individual on this view. Don't put your personal view there. That's what I have as a recommendation.
Anyways, now he has said his points. How are you reacting to his points?
Okay, I think he has actually missed the point. The reason why I said he has missed the point is because you cannot have a problem in your family and then want to solve the problem of the community. I think you need to make sure you solve the problems you have at home first before you get to the community. So we have a problem in a house. If we have a problem in a house and we don't solve the problem in a house, that problem might spread to the community. So this is why we need to make sure that we unite the people here. In uniting the people, we are not oversighting anything. We are not trying to against a law, or we are not trying not to put in any bill or any law. What we are trying to say is we have the laws. The laws are there. We have very, very good laws. Even before Yahya Jammeh coming, we used to have very good laws, but they were amended. Why were they amended? It's because of the people. So the people is the problem here. We have good laws. We are not implementing the laws. We are not enforcing them. So where is the problem? It is the people. And where are the people from? They are from communities. Where are those communities? Where are those? They are from families. Where are those families from? They are from communities. So let's make sure that we solve the problems in Basse constituency unite the people, and then you can have that inclusive participation. Because with that, when you get a representatives from each of these communities in Basse constituency, having them sit and discuss about the problems of Basse constituency, we will have a way forward. What we've been having before was just people who went there to represent themselves. Because if you go to represent somebody, you don't come back to consult them, to ask about their views on certain issues, and then you make deliberations based on them. You are doing it on your personal reason. So this is why we need to make sure that